All right, adding, subtracting, and dividing decimals. So we've talked about how when multiplying, I don't like the vertical column thing, but when you're adding and subtracting, you do want to do vertical columns. So the first thing I would do is rewrite this. It's 2.1 plus 7.5, because what you want to do is you want to get your decimal place values to line up vertically. Your decimals have to be in order here. So then you just add straight down. 2 plus 7 would be 9, 1 plus 5 is 6, and you get 9.6. Same thing when you're subtracting. So just over here, 7.2. The first one has to go on top, minus 6.6. Again, my decimals have to line up here. And then we subtract, so here you have to borrow. That becomes 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. You bring that decimal straight down. 6 minus 6 is 0, and you get 0.6. Or you could just put 0.6 would be fine. Here's another addition problem, but it is involving a negative. So again, we're going to rewrite it vertically. 1.736. The first number goes on top. And then a negative, when you add a negative, really all that is subtraction. So really what you're doing is subtracting 0.1. Again, get your decimals lined up together, one right over the other, then subtract straight down. So the 6 comes down, the 3 comes down, 7 minus 1 is 6, 1 minus 0 is 1, and then we end up with a positive answer because our larger number was positive. So you have to apply the rules of integers there. Okay, what about quotients? Quotients are a little bit harder. So all a quotient is division. So one of the things I want you to do is first just think logically. I have 6 divided by 7. And that's going to be less than 1. So how do you write this? Well, you can do this with the house thing. So you have 6.5 under the house divided by 7.7. And then you have to take care of your decimal. So you move it one place over. Decimal would go here and go straight up. So you ask yourself, how many times will 77 go into 65? Well, it won't. So then what do you have to do? You have to add a 0 here. So we're going to extend the house out. And then you ask yourself, how many times will 77 now go into 650? We're ignoring the decimal because we already have it placed up here. So you try different things here. In this case, it would be 8. So you do 8 times 7 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 7 is 56. Plus 5 is 61. I'm going to go back and erase this 5 on the top. Okay. Then you subtract straight down. So we've done some of this now. So again, you got to borrow here, and that's 4, and that becomes 10, and 10 minus 6 is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3, and then you have to add another 0, and that 0 comes down, and you have 340, and then you do 77 into 340. We'd go, let's see, 4 times. So 4 times 7 is 28, carry the 2, 28 and 2 is 30, and then again you want to subtract, and you have to borrow 3, and that's 10, 10 minus 8 is 2, 3 minus 0 is 3, and then you add another 0, bring that down, and we'll go one more decimal place. So 320, so again that's going to be 4, and that's going to be 308, and you subtract that, 1, 10, 10 minus 8 is 2, 12, and then we'll stop there because you're going to keep getting more and more decimals. So one thing I'll do is I'll tell you in the directions for the handout how many decimal places to go, but that's sufficient there. All right, let's look at number 5. Number 5 is also a division problem, but this case, our numerator is bigger than our denominator, so we should end up with an answer bigger than 1. We go back here. Remember, 6.5 was less than 7.7, so we got an answer that was less than 1. So always pay attention. That should give you some help in terms of what type of answer you should get. So again, you're going to do the little house. Now, in this case, the bottom is what goes on outside, and then the 7.9 is what goes inside the house. Move your decimal, move your decimal. So it's going to be here and go straight up. Again, 74 goes in 79 one time. You subtract, and you get 5. You add a 0. 0 comes down. So we've got an answer bigger than 1 now. 74 will not go into 50, so that's 0. So then I have to add another 0 and bring that down. And I say 74 goes into 500. So I try some different things, and I'm going to try, let's see, 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 6 times 7 is 42, and 2 is 44. Oops. 44. There we go. Subtract there. Erase this mark. And then you have to do the whole borrowing thing. So that's 4. And then that's going to end up being 9. That's 10. So 10 minus 4 is 6. And 9 minus 4 is 5. Then we add one more 0 because we'll go 3 decimal places here. So do a 0 and then do 74 into 560. And I'm going to try, let's see, 7 times. So that's 8. Carry the 2. 49 and 2 is 51. Okay, and then we have 3 decimal places. So hopefully we're getting the idea of the whole thing with division. So I'm going to erase all this. I'm going to do these next 2 really quickly because now we've seen them kind of worked out. All right, so here again we have a bigger number being divided by a small one, so we should get a big answer. So I have negative 0.4, 5.2. Now, as far as my negative sign, all I'm going to do is go ahead and take care of that. So in other words, I know my answer should be negative. Now I'm ignoring that negative from now on, so I'm actually going to just erase it because I know my final answer is negative. I deal with my decimal place, move it 1 place, so it goes here, it goes up here. Okay, so then I do what? 4 goes into 5 1 time, 4, subtract, that's 1, bring the 2 down, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 3 times 4 is 12. So that ends up being even. So in this case, I actually get exactly 13. And remember, we said it was a negative at the very beginning. Okay, next one over here, same thing. Get a bigger number because the top's bigger than the bottom. So I have 0.8 goes into negative 7. Take care of my sign again. I know my answer is negative. Move my decimal place 1 place. So there. Have to add a 0 since I had to move it 1 more place over. 8 goes into 70. It's what? 8 times would be 64. Subtract that, I get 6. Add a 0, bring that down. 8 goes into 60. 7 times, 56. Subtract, that's 4. Bring another 0 down. 8 goes into 40 5 times, and I get negative 8.75. All right, next you have subtraction here. So again, first thing you want to deal with are your signs, change, and then you want to rewrite it vertically. So you have 2 plus 2.98 because the decimal on the original 2 is here as well. So you got to get that vertical alignment. Come straight down, you get 14.98, which is here. Basic math, you're looking at 2 plus approximately 3, which would be something close to 5, and F was the most logical choice. Okay, here we have a negative and a positive. Negative and positive, what do? You subtract, keep the sign of the larger. So I know my answer is going to be positive. So that one and that one are out. Plus, I know I'm subtracting them. Well, this is basically negative 8 and positive 9 if you're doing approximations, which is 1. So the answer there is 1. Now again, vertically you would have negative 7.6 and 8.6. But see, I don't like that. So whenever I'm doing these, and I know it's subtraction because the signs are different, I'm actually going to rewrite it. Larger number on top, smaller number on bottom, then subtract straight down, and you get 1. All right. Last one, another division problem. Well, this one for me is more of a testing strategy problem. If I look, a negative divided by a negative must be what? Positive. Well, there's only one positive answer, which is J. So that was easy. Plus, think logically. I have 9 being divided by 5. Well, 10 divided by 5 is 2, so it's something close to that, which is J. So hopefully those strategies have made sense to you here.